Good evening.
Oh, good morning.
Well, yeah, welcome to the 143rd edition. Syndicated show here, you know.
So did you feel that earthquake the other day?
Yeah, man. I'm sitting in my chair here, like I am now, backs to the door, and this one felt a little different. It did like I was doing one of those hula hoop things.
Like it was rolling side to side?
Yeah, it was rolling around, you know, and I'm like, oh shit, left to right, and then it quickly went into the regular shake, you know. It usually ends about the time you think it's going to go. It's either going to go get bad or it's going to go away.
Well, what time of day was it? Did it happen there?
I don't remember, man. I was in here yesterday like I am today.
Was it evening?
Man, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Maybe this time or a little earlier. I don't know where it was. I don't know where it was centered out of.
It was just, I looked on the earthquake map online. It was south of San Francisco.
Oh, that's south. That's way south.
Yeah, that's south of you. I guess that highway now goes all the way from Butuan down to Davao, right? Looked like, what was it, Leniguan? Something like that.
I don't know if it's a concrete one or just small.
It didn't look like there were any aftershocks.
No, I didn't feel nothing after that. Just like you right away, you think, well, there's no homeowners.
Yeah.
So you're in a wooden structure, so what? You know?
Right.
I was going
you didn't have any cracking, did you?
Not that that was my second thought. You know, I'm trying to outsmart the carpenter ants and termites. Because when I got them, when I sprayed it, I don't know how long that stuff's good for when I spray it. That's like 1,300 peso a can.
Yeah, what's that stuff called?
The one I got.
To keep the termites, you spray it on the wood.
Yeah, but the thing is so, the writing is so minute, only a ticket, carpenter can read it. But up to 1 month. But what I did was I went around the whole room, a couple of the rooms, and then nothing was coming back. Then I look up higher. They were going. One's got a little concrete chewed away in a corner here, but I shot that one right away. Yeah, I should have never let her uncle put this wooden fucking baseboard in here. It's pointless. In my kitchen addition there, it's not in there. And what the guy did was he just went up a little gap, man. It was like 1/4 of an inch or less. And he just painted that strip with the paint that we used for the trim. Works for me. What snow you got?
None. In fact, this weekend it's going to be 60, Saturday and Sunday. This is a very warm time right now, so I'm not complaining. One morning it was down in the teens.
Like a cock teaser girlfriend, though. You know, just do it for a little while.
Your last live stream is when it was in the teens.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin had one. 6 to 10 do. I don't know if they got any. My youngest sister lives in Florida now, around Fort Myers. Her boyfriend's architect. So she's finally after all these trips they were taking to the warm places, you know, why don't we stay down there? She works for Amazon. She can go wherever. She loves it there.
And
Sure, health
my
health
daughter and her
insurance.
boyfriend should be in Baguio City, I would imagine. I haven't heard from her, so.
Your Navy?
She's
Your daughter from the Navy?
Daughter from the Marines. Yeah.
No, right.
Yeah, she's a former Marine. But her
That's the one that-
boyfriend's still active duty.
Is that the one that got the disability in her 20s?
Yes.
Fuck. Was she disabled for it?
I don't know. You know what went around a few years ago, and
I don't know.
the crud, the one you had to quarantine for.
Oh, I had that, man.
But I don't know if she had it or it's from the injection. But her breathing, it wasn't sufficient enough to remain on active duty because she couldn't run. You know, they do PT all the time.
Yeah.
They run miles, and she went up
Did
a
she get
couple
100%?
flights of steps. No,
Did she,
I assume
she
she
get
was. No, she's
did
not.
she get 100%? No.
No, negative.
Well, see, a lot of when I first got in, basic, we had a guy that came in because there were no jobs. He was 42 years old. And he had been in the army before, you know. So, like, I think he got his right when he entered, just like kind of like the college guys. But he had a profile, man. That's what we called it. I don't know what you guys called it. But
Right, on profile.
yeah, he didn't have to do any running or nothing. Just walk, did what he could. I'm thinking,
They let him in. He stayed.
yeah, man. 40. He looked it too, man. I mean, he looked old. Of course, back then I was like, what, 18, 19 years old? I was 18 at the time.
She actually, I think, extended her ended term of service to get because her case was being adjudicated or whatever. So she had like 4 years and 5 months or something like that.
They kind of gave her a desk job or whatever for life there.
Well,
She wasn't, because you could still serve a purpose. You know, not everybody in that office, when they've been in a long time, they don't have to run any fucking more. You get to know people.
Technically, they still got to do their PFT, physical fitness test, right? Every year. So,
you know how many guys I'd see get excused from that shit?
Well, I
You're
know,
like,
but I tell you what, I was in what we call the Mac terminal, right? On Okinawa one time, flying out to some temporary duty. And there was this Navy, I assume he was a chief because he was wearing the khakis, you know?
Uh-huh.
He, honestly, Tony, he couldn't fit in that chair. That's how big he was. And I remember thinking, how in the world is he still in, you know? Because every service, we called it the Fat Boy program, right?
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, but probably because he was a chief, you know, his upper just kept passing him along, you know.
He knew people, man.
But I remember thinking, because back then, you know, I'm a young, probably 145 pound, you know, GI. And I'm looking at this guy thinking, how in the world does he stay in, you know?
Yeah, slender, medium, or obese. That's how they categorize.
I think when I was in, they just had the weight and the height. I don't think they did that body mass index thing yet.
No, you know what, man? When I was in them, we had this chaplain's assistant. Nice guy, you know, kind of that was his calling, was that job. You know what I mean? He was just
he was made for that job.
Yeah, he's just I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to say sissified or whatever, but the dude, we had there was a table up front in the mess hall, and these guys, a lot of the old timers, you know, guys that Vietnam vets and E6s and above, you know. We had one guy that looked like He looked like his name was Jack. He had combined service of 40 years with National Guard, active duty reserves, and all that. And he had the haircut and the profile, just like Jack Nicholson, man. I mean, even like harder than that.
Huh.
And they would sit around bullshit. I'd laugh my ass off every day, you know. And the guy could tell jokes and not even fucking. So you see, you know, some of these dudes, they'd watch people's shoes when they came in, you know, to see how they looked, their uniform. And I thought the guy was bullshitting. He goes, that is Jay, the guy that party with the little bit older guy. Jay was like 40. Jay said he's a good stone with me once in a while before he started testing. And he had a girlfriend, young girlfriend. He'd say, "Hey man, why don't you take her?" He was married. I said, "Well, I'm married too, dude. I'm looking to get out of mine. I ain't looking to fucking get into another. I'm looking to get out of the army too." So, but we're sitting at the table, and chaplain's guy comes in. You can take all the desserts you want, you know. And he's looking. Jack's looking. The tough guy. And I thought he was being a comedian. He goes, "Look at that fucking disgrace, you know." I'm chuckling. He goes, "I'm gonna go ask that guy if he's on the fucking Fat Man program." And I started laughing. Jay said, "No, he's serious, you know." And he goes over to him. He says, "Excuse me, son." He said, "Yes, Master Sergeant." Jay said, "What are you doing with all those cakes and pies?" "Well, I was going to eat them." He goes, "Ain't you on the Fat Man program?" The guy said, "Yeah." He goes, "What the fuck are you doing with all that shit?" And I thought, oh my God. I thought this guy's going to get in trouble with the captain. And that fucker was like, yes, you know, yes. And he came back, man. The dude looked like he just caught his wife cheating on him. The fucking, as pissed as he was. You know, he could, all the blood rushed to his face. And I was like, holy shit, you know. So I you know, I knew better than these guys inspect them, man. I always did my own shine. I didn't go to these. They always had these down at Benning in Columbus, Georgia. They had these black dudes who come around and shine that shit up real fucking glass like, you know. But I always did my own, man. I didn't go for that other bullshit. I just thought that one more thing they'd ride me about, you know. "Oh, you're too lazy to do your own." They allowed the dudes on post, you know. So, but that dude was hilarious, man. He made every day guy had shit jokes. I didn't know he was that fucking into it, you know.
I remember my first duty station. I think I was an E3, and one of my E5s. He was a bodybuilder, you know, black guy. Grimes, I think was his name. He had a waist, Tony. His waist, if it was 28, that was stretching it. But he was huge, you know. I mean, his arm was about as big as my thigh, you know. He's one of those guys. He looked like one of the, you know, when you're a kid, you buy those action figures, you know, like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Or the Thing. Remember that one? The Thing.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. He looked like the Thing, because his waist was really small, but he was huge. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, he's got to be on the Fat Boy program, you know. But no, because all they did was go by weight, you know, at that time.
Yeah, you know what though? I've been to the gym about 3 times where I got built up. The first 3 months is the hard part. But the last one I did before my wife came to America. When she came to America, we go every day. You know, I had a run where I worked from like 2:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. something like that. So I do 8, you know, get off. I'm going there every day like that, and I was starting to get big again, you know. But I didn't want to go. Started fucking around, and I stopped. But it was a lot of work, man. You know, a lot of work. You know, you're supposed to do it like you do heavy one day, and then it gives your muscles a break. You know, do reps less weight, more reps another day for definition. And that felt good when I was doing them, but not that good, you know. I mean, with me, what I'm trying to say is I had to keep doing it to keep the muscle on, otherwise I lose it. Some of these, the dude that I was telling you about, like last week, the Bullock, black farm guy, man, that fucker was cut like that too, thin and big. He'd scare the shit out of anybody. That was fucking just. He looked like he didn't like nobody. You know, he looked like his shoulder measurements were two me put side by side. You know, and cool, man. It was very cool. Reminded me of that dude in Green Mile. But good friend, good. You know, I'll watch you back. You know, he was mine kind of thing. He was serious, man. He was a good guy. That's why I asked the other guy to look out for him because I thought, I could just see people trying to take advantage of him or mistreating them. You know, once you get to know him, but he was one of the better people ever. Of course, I'm talking about him now because he had a pretty good, left a pretty good influence on me. You know. So what'd you do for Christmas? Sit there and unwrap shit as usual?
Hello, I'm sorry, I'm here.
Did you
Yeah,
wrap
hold on.
stuff? as
I'm gonna change headsets, Tony. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, okay, go. I'm gonna go get some water. Take my medicine. I didn't realize how much respect my dog got from the other dogs because by now they know he's gone. So they all come up here to mark this territory thing. You know, take a shit or piss. The different ones every morning all together. You know, dogs that never mess around here. He'd always. I don't know what the deal is with his barking with nobody around. I mean, he just let him know he was in charge or something. We got these two little dogs now. The little one, I forget what make it is. It's not scary. Yeah, it's not scary at all. The two dogs out there, the mother-in-law, you know, her fascinating infatuation is over with these things. And the dog shows his teeth, but he's got no fucking bite, man. He's like weighs 2 pounds, you know, wet. But see dogs come up there all over. And that's the brother-in-law for somebody. The dog I had that died, his mother died. She just had a litter not too long ago.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we didn't do. My wife made. You've probably never heard of this dish called city chicken. You ever hear of it?
What city?
Yeah, city chicken.
No,
It's,
I don't think so.
it's a Western Pennsylvania thing. It's
No.
like it's not really chicken. It's pork kebab on a skewer. but it's
Oh,
breaded, and then it's baked. Once you bread it, you lay it in a pan, you pour the gravy over it, and you bake it. So it's like smothered in gravy. It's a breaded pork kebab, and they're really good. So that's what we had with mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese, I guess. I saw that big spread Simon had, turkey. Still there?
yeah, there was people out here. Yeah, they were here. Then my Wi-Fi took a shit there because I got my computer plugged into that transformer, power transformer, and it's for whatever reason, if you bump the thing a little bit, it's sitting inside the receptacle, but it shut off. I must have bumped it. When it shuts off, you gotta go through the whole fucking thing. Wait for it to come back on, all that good stuff.
And that's why you dropped off StreamYard, huh?
What's that?
I said that's why you dropped off StreamYard there for a couple minutes?
Yeah, I know. I thought, what the hell's happening? I looked to my left and the Wi-Fi thing is dead. So I looked down below because there's a power light, green light, and I got room for three things here. But every once in a while, man, it's just like you got to unplug it and plug it back in because some of this freaking electricity here, you know. But because these
brown out
that trend, no, haven't had a lot of those lately either. If we had to have outs, they weren't more than half hour, you know, during the week. But it's not meant to run something in there full time. But I must have bumped it. That's all it takes. Because there's an adapter. They give you like 3 different ones that'll work Thailand, you know, or with Europe there. So if it were just a plug, it would go into the receptacle. That'd be great. It's a 2-prong receptacle. But the power thing is 3. So I need that. You need an adapter. An adapter's pretty. You can plug the. It's pretty bulky, I think. So it lets whatever weight you got plugged into it. If you don't have that item, you know, what stretched out, or it'll interfere with it. If you got it, you know, if you got all the bunch of the cords and it's pulling up on the plug, and then you have problems. But anyway, if I drop off, that's because of that. Usually.
And a couple of days is my buddy's childhood friend's birthday. I got to remember.
Huh? What's that?
I said it in a couple of days. My buddy, childhood friend, growing up.
Yeah.
The one I got in all the trouble and adventures with from the time we were teenagers. So he's going to be the same age as me in a couple of days. He lives in Alabama now. He's been divorced for a long time. I think he's been single for 17 years now. He got married the same day that me and my wife got married. Back in 1. We didn't even know it. We got married on the same day. We both got married. Good, you know. But he was.
You know, it was strange for my mother. She lived in the UP in most of Escanaba, Gladstone, and she had a friend in school, Jeanette. There was that's one of these walk to the store, walk to a mile go school things, you know. So my mother had this friend named Jeanette, and unbeknownst to either of them, they ended up living 2 blocks apart. They were both raised up there.
And they didn't know it?
What's that?
They didn't know they lived 2 blocks apart?
Well, they found out, but we had both been living at distance for quite a while. Right. You know, I was like my mother's best friend as a kid. I guess that lady, her friend her mom had a general store.
Did you ever go to a high school reunion? Senior high school?
No.
Did they happen?
I don't even remember, dude. I didn't spend enough time in school to remember a whole lot of people. I really didn't, man. Junior high, that's where I don't remember people, and I went there all the time. And when I got to high school, I just I didn't like it, man. It ain't like I couldn't do. I only went there for the track, you know, the
Right.
track field season. But I just well, a couple of my friends, we thought that we're going to be doing the same job regardless of whether we graduate or not.
Right.
You know, I mean, they graduated somehow and they got their GD. One of them, this is very cool story though. Pat, his name's Pat, lives up in somewhere near around Oshkosh. Would have the FAA fly in, something like that.
Right.
FIA, whatever. And experimental aircraft. So I'm talking to him because his oldest sister, which she's about 2 years older than us, you know, and at the time, she worked at a place called Stratec. They make they belong to Briggs and Stratton. They make the key cylinders and all that lock shit for auto industry. Probably more stuff, but I was only there about 3-4 months. So she looked the same. I mean, gorgeous, you know. But I was reminiscing with her, and she gave me her brother's number. I used to hang out with him part of my teenage years. We went to different schools, and he worked for a grocery store called Tate's. It was a family-owned. And he started out, you know, bagging, and he was dairy manager and all this other shit. Well, this family, Tate's, they ended up buying a couple of franchise of Pick and Saves. Up here, they're called Pick and Saves. I think in Florida, they're called Public Market or something. They got the same layout, you know, the same everything. This dude, when I'm talking to him, he says, "Yeah, I'm building a $330,000 home on a lake." How the fuck you get all that fucking money, man? It turns out that the Tates, he was friends with the owner's son. And when they went out there, he went up there. And now, without a high school diploma, I haven't talked to him in about, golly, 20, almost 25 years. And I said, "Well, how can you afford that?" You know? And he said that. I said, "Well, what do you do?" He says, "I go around the different stores, and if they're not performing, I help get them up to where they are." I said, "Well, what happens if you don't?" "Well, then I fire them." So he was up there, you know, and him and his wife and their first daughter was a baby when we were over there New Year's Eve. Me and my first wife were over there, and his one daughter looks just like him, which he's a guy, but for a girl, it don't look. But he goes, "Yeah, you know, call me out, go up fishing up here," and I thought the guy was full of shit, you know. I never bothered with it. And at work, we had another guy come in that I thought, "Man, you look familiar," you know. He was like a friend of a friend, my friends, you know. And I used to see him once in a while. But we were supposed to go up to his place, you know. But he kept postponing or not. I'd call him and he wouldn't answer the phone. It turns out this guy, his wife went into some loony bin, and her parents had the power of attorney, not him. How the fuck does that happen? You know, he didn't get into that part of the story. But it must have been something about him or something he did. But, you know, I don't know him like I knew the other guy. So this dude, Bob Sellers, his name was Sellers. I think it was. You're supposed to have black shoes, you know, black dress shoes, boots or dress shoes, army boot kind of thing, but not tennis shoes and all. So he had some white tennis shoes. He spray painted them. What glossy paint? He says, do you think they'll notice?
Black.
He spray painted his white tennis shoes black. Gloss paint. He says, do you think they'll rip? Do you think they'll know? And I'm
Only
like,
after you LA.
he was hitting. When we do Summerfest. We used to do Summerfest last year. I guess they didn't, or the year before. But we go down to Lakefront. It's like the largest outdoor festival in the world. 11 days, I think they do it. They check out the 4th of July now. But he was a instructor, so he'd have the instructors in the marshaling area, lining up. What after a while, your schedule was out the window. You just went to whatever parking ride that they need you to. First, you might start out on a 40, and you go all over the place. After 8 o'clock at night, you're all over. And he was talking to these fucking fat chicks. I mean, they were disgusting, man. And he's getting their phone number, man. I'm like, fuck. I see when I get back to the station, they're still, it's like 1 a.m. They're playing pool. And he goes, I said, Bob, man, I hope you ditched that freaking, ripped up that number. He goes, yeah, I was just kidding. I'm like, yeah, right, man. He was talking to a couple of teenagers. There were 3 teenagers on there. And I think one might have been Filipino. Hard, But they were sitting on the bus, my bus. I was outside because he was one of the instructors. In the beginning of the night, they load them up and tell you when to go, So I had 3 of them in there, and the sun was out, and the sun was at such an angle, it made this one look. She looked beautiful. It was like a super shot, So we get down to Summerfest, and as the night goes on, they leave. Like I don't know how many hours they were down there, 3 or 4, And he's sitting in there talking to him a long time, and I know he's asking him questions and shit. And I said, Bob, I got on the bus. I go, okay, Playboy, and everybody looked. The bus was kind of full, and they stopped and they looked because they probably thought, well, this guy's going to get busted. So I took him out the bus, and I said, Bob, man, you got to leave these girls alone, man. I said, dude, you're going to get fired for that kind of shit. They're kids. You can't get into the fucking particulars with these kids. They're 15, 16 years old, maybe. You can't. He goes, you think so? I go, I fucking know so. Don't do it, man. And I heard him after when I got back on the bus, I had to wait for more people to come on. And I heard him talking. And one was pissed. She wanted to say something to somebody. And one was totally like, whatever, he thought he was okay. Her feelings weren't hurt. The third one was on the fence about it. I didn't tell him that night, but I told him the next time I saw him. I said, you can't engage in the conversations like you're having with these kids, because they were pissed. 1.5, 2, call it 2. They were they were like, what's this guy asking us all these personal questions for? He's got gray hair, and he's old. So he goes, yeah, you think so? Dude, this ain't no ice cream stand on the street. If they got that shit on audio, video, and they bust them, that's it. What they have to appease the parents. There wouldn't have been no getting his job back for him. But I knew the guy was when he first got on there. He first got on the job. I didn't know him. I didn't recognize him right away. And I was on a route that I got off, and I had to take the bus route he was on that day back to the station. And so he's new, when he gets on, he goes, yeah, so how'd you like it today? Well, I was a fucking hoot, I'm thrilled, I'm just, No, I just do my thing and I go. And he's telling these people, and when they're going on to Summerfest, but he's got a street route that goes down. Because when that thing lets out at midnight or before, the street he's going on, the route he's on, he can't move, man. Thousands of people. He says, we had an entry gate off of a street of St. Paul. I forget the Broadway. And that was an entry for vehicles only. And he was telling people to walk to Summerfest. Yeah, get off on St. Paul. Did you walk down there? I said, Bob, I didn't know who he was. I said, hey, before I got to know him real good, before I remembered him real good, I said, Bob, man, they're going to get down there and find out that they got to walk all the way back, which is about like freaking 4 long blocks, like 4 Vegas. If you've ever been to Vegas, 4 long blocks till they get to the street they can walk down and enter. I said, hey, man, tell these people, no, I don't know how long you've been doing it all day. I said, tell them to get off in Chicago, walk down there. Otherwise, you might get some assholes that get really mad, because he didn't know any better. He just knew that the buses went in down there. He knew you entered in down there somewhere. But he had a couple of years. I don't know how many years he had. He didn't have what I had. I think by the time I left, he might have had 5 maybe. That's the best time of the year because that fare boxes were cut. Who gives a shit? Because you're at the parking rides. They got people out there that take that money or they put money in the box. Who cares, And it was nice because you get a lot of eye candy, all night long. Even these young ones would be down there at like 9 o'clock at night, 47 degrees at one time, 4th of July. And they're down there with what they got the clothes they got on there, like table napkins, And they would go down there that late. I don't know what the hell for, but that was the best time of the year. I got drug tested one time. So there was nothing. They always said that the test was random. That wasn't random. They came out and got me one time. I pissed right away because it's a fun night, make big money.
When I worked at a site, they had to come out any manned site, right? They had to do that. So I called Mr. Random because I'd show up. I'm the only worker there, so guess we got it every time.
Yeah. Wasn't by accident either, huh?
Oh, I'm like, why are you wasting your time on an old guy?
But T, when they got you scheduled for a drug, when they got you scheduled for a drug screen, when they got you, it's your day. I had day off work, so that wasn't random that they picked me because I was off that day. So how could they pick that? They make it the thing the day before. That happened to me twice on that. I'm like, you guys can take me every 5. As soon as you tell these guys, you can pick me up every time, man. Give me. I used to do the best test right away, and I get it over with. But when I was there when I was there more and more years, I would take my time, man. You had up to 7 hours or something. I'd hold it purposely, so they get me out of the route,
Yeah.
But I said, you can come as soon as you tell them, you can come and get me anytime you want. Then they leave you alone for a couple of years. I said, man, I'm making you're making $25. You're making $25 an hour, man. You'd have to be a total fucking idiot. We had some dudes that got fired, man. You'd have to be an idiot to fuck that job up.
Yeah. But I told them, like 5 times. I'm like, why don't you test with the younger people? They got more of a social life.
Yeah. I used to trade. One time I said, This guy asked me to trade Richard Olson. He was a friend of a friend, you know. When I was younger, this dude looked like he was. His mom and dad got killed up north. They were driving a Honda Civic and got creamed by a 18-wheeler. And remember that, man. And there were about 5 kids in that family. You know, Grandpa ended up raising them, but Richard was on call duty because he had a lot of time. Junior was on call duty, and Junior needed to get off or something. I said, he asked me. The go-between guy asked me. I said, no, I can't do it. But he made it sound like fuck you, I ain't doing that shit. You know, I mean, nobody asked me if I had anything to do. They just assumed. I said, how do you know I don't have anywhere to go or anything, you know, or somebody to see me? Because the other guy was like, oh yeah, we'll wait till his turn comes up. Oh man, you fucker, you know, you had it wrong there. Don't you know, don't ask me and then make it sound like I dissed the fucking guy. That wasn't the case at all. You asked me and I said no, just like anybody else would say no or yes. You know. Had nothing to do with any other shit because I was into it to make money. I was up 22 hours one day. And I was at that time, it was like 2011, maybe? Yeah, I think it was 2011. I woke up at 2 a.m. I had 4 o'clock call. I always got up 2 hours before I went to work because I just got to get prepared for this bullshit, you know? That was my way of doing it. So I get there at 4 o'clock, the phone rings because everybody comes to work during Summerfest. Almost everybody, you know, that got that for work. And they go, yeah, need you on this run, Summerfest. How late can you stay? I said, I can stay all the way. I'm off tomorrow. You know? Or that, or my sign up was like 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock. So I'm driving home. I'm fucking tired, man. Never been that tired in my life. I get off this little freeway extension. It's a parkway, it's called. And it ended right where I needed to get off to go to my house. I get off, take a right. On the corner of my left eye, I see this. I think it's a dog. Because this street is all concrete, even the median. I went, oh, shit. It was a deer, man. And a little buck, a stub. And I thought for sure, this fucker's dead. I want to be kissing airbag dust, you know. And turned out he hit I said, I'm looking at this tomorrow, man. I'm dead tired. I gotta go to sleep. I got time for this shit. So he put a little indentations, and I had an F-150. There's a bumper, and there's a strip of a rubber strip, and then the grill working. There was a little dent there because of where I hit his stubs, you know. He was a baby buck, and he slid along the road and got up and ran off. You know, but.
Well, did you brake real hard and slow down before you hit him, or what?
Yeah, I came off a right turn, a yield right turn, goes through. The speed limit's 40. When I turned that corner, I was at like 30, you know. And accelerating 35, 40, less than 40. And if I'd have been awake, I'd have seen them better. But I looked in that general area, but at 2:30 in the morning, you ain't expecting it. And I thought to myself, I was all prepared for the boom boom, you know. And nothing ever came of it.
Exactly a year ago this week, I hit mine, and I was getting on the ramp of a highway, so I was going down. I was like 45, 50 mile an hour.
Yeah.
But he cut almost $10,000 in damage in my
yeah. My uncle nailed a deer like that once. He had a 69 Malibu, one of the green ones. You know, and the green color was popular in the late 60s, early 70s. Tore up that car, man. It was a buck. You know, that's like about 300 pounds of fucking meat, man. It don't take much. Around here, I don't drive at night. I tried it a couple times and to drop the mother-in-law off. I said, while we were having construction was in earlier stages, I said, I'm not, you know, we picked her up by the time we got down there. It was dark. And I said, I'm not doing this. If you want to go home a little earlier because, you know, there's nobody, a lot of these trikes don't have headlights, nothing, you know, so.
My mother, about 15 years ago, she was coming home from her sister's house, and she was going the highway. She never went over the speed limit, so the speed limit was 55, but a buck ran right into her driver's side window. She was a little Ford Escort.
Oh,
and this buck, his rack shattered her driver's window. There was no real damage the rest of it. But that, you know how safety glass shatters. Well, she had all these little shards of glass in her face and her neck.
Yeah.
And shocked that my sister's house was like 2 miles away, so she drove there. And my sister saw her at the door. She said, "What happened?" You know, because she had all these shards of glass in her face. But yeah,
did the antlers themselves hit her, or just the glass?
I don't know. I don't think so. Or she would have had a much, you know, more serious. I think they impacted the glass and at her speed, you know, it probably just twisted his head, you know. And,
a couple of years ago, that was.
No, that was 15 years probably. She was probably
Oh, still, yeah. Yeah, I was scared the shit out of me too.
Oh yeah.
With the twit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my only when I was driving the bus, we'd go through this industrial park, and the only deer, you know, they were near in the city or in the suburbs would be out along the railroad tracks and a few wooded areas there were, you know, in between each town or city. There weren't that many, but you know, you'd see them standing there looking at you. You know, I'm driving by, even on the bus route on the north side, man. There was about 4 of them gathered in the front lawn of this fucking house, man. Across the street was a park where one of the colleges played their baseball games. And
you never had any when you were driving the bus of hitting the deer
what's that?
In the bus? Did you ever?
No, I never. No. They were. It was odd to see them in the part of the city I was in. They came. They either walked the creeks, you know, a creek or whatever you pronounce it. I pronounce it creek.
Right.
But they go down the creeks all the way down from wherever, you know. So once in a while they'd be inside the city, you know, and they big ones too, big doe. Then they're looking at me, you know, driving through this industrial park. And when I get back to the station, there was a report of one that jumped on the highway, which isn't that far from where the one I saw was. Because they're not that fucking smart, man. But never hit one.
Did you sell that thing?
What's that?
Your house in Wisconsin that you moved from, did you sell it or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long did it take you were done, or once they put it on the market, you know?
Back then, listen, 7 months.
Wow.
Now would have been the time to sell. Would have been the time like 6 months ago, man. Because these people are ridiculous now. I couldn't touch a house even with the job I had, even if I was making $30 an hour. The payment went up $1,000. to what I'd want to buy that I would have been in before. That's crazy, man. Last time it took a jump in that when I bought it from the people I bought it from, they bought it at 140. I bought it at 177.
How far away does your son and his wife live?
I don't know where they live in New Berlin. That's outside Milwaukee a little bit, right now. So he borrowed some money off me to pay off those high interest cards they charge whatever on. I said, you got to leave that shit alone, man. You want to have a plan of being done with work by the time you're 50 or 55, you better throw them cards away. So you wanted to pay some of those off. Otherwise you're 20+%. I heard they're like 27 now.
Or do they have to commute?
I have no idea. My son works from home. I think he's got to go. He's got to go to Pennsylvania there once a month or something like that.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he works for Airgas. Called Airgas.
Hey,
He was.
There's was it an engine or tractor called Alice Chalmers? Wasn't that in Wisconsin?
Yeah, that used to be in Milwaukee or West Allis, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
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 You know what? It was called Alice Chalmers. They were they renamed the city. It was called North Greenfield, and that guy built a factory there. And as a matter of fact, that area where they built it, you could get a job. There were jobs up and down the street. You could walk in one place and out and go to another one. They had at one time 8,000 employees at that factory in West Dallas.
Engines,
and
or did they make?
They make garden farm equipment. I think Case International, somebody absorbed them.
So they were kind of like John Deere. They made all kind of farm instruments.
Yeah, they made tractors, all kinds of stuff. The matter of fact, I don't know if they're open anymore. The Racine International Harvester merged with Case, J.I. Case, I think, or C.I.K. something. But they, I can't imagine. You're not the only company who make all this farm equipment. Are there that many tractors to sell? That's unbelievable. That sounds like a business where you work 6 months a year. They changed the bodies a little bit. I don't even know if they're in business anymore down there. I don't know.
Those guys buy them. They want to keep them for 10, 20 years. Farmers do.
Well, that guy I told you about him, Just a Few Acres Farm. This guy's out of New York State. And he collects old tractors and rebuilds them from the ground up, Guy used to be an engineer or a draft or whatever with houses and stuff. And he made partner, and the stress was just fucking killing him. He had to go to the hospital a couple of times. So he thought, well, his wife was a registered nurse making the big bucks, and she gave up her job too. But his only child, this guy's about 50. He's about 57 now, maybe. He has a small farm, only child, so he's got his dad's land that's next door to him. That house he lives in now was built by his grandfather, and it was just almost dilapidated. And he fixed that one up from scratch while he was working all these hours. I forgot the firm he said, but he almost died a couple of times. So it was a nice guy too. His name's Pete. I don't know the guy's last name, but he works the farmer's market on Saturdays, the outdoor one, and the indoor one his wife works. So he's always Yeah, I haven't watched them in a while. But if you want to watch something and get some entertainment, you'll get it off of that channel. Think fun. It's good viewing, man. If anybody out there wants to watch some
What's the
firsthand,
name of
Just a Few Acres Farm, I think. I forget his wife's name. His name's Pete. I don't know if he's junior or not, but wife, I forget her name. But people mail him, people send him sweatshirts and T-shirts from different universities. Matter of fact, he says he has so many of them, he hardly ever opens the pack, you know.
Huh.
Oh, look who's here. Yeah, you watch that, man. Have you ever wanted to, you know, hay balers, how they really work? You know, he does all that shit. Guys, well, he's an engineer, so yeah, he knows about stuff. So, you know, he came up, he was the only child, so, you know, you're gonna learn. If his dad did it part-time, worked a regular machinist job and did that part-time.
Hi,
Merry
Maria.
Christmas
Merry
to the
Christmas.
Kennedy.
You have the
Kennedy
day off?
Super. Man, them kids look like man, you know, like they grew up on here. And all of a sudden they're grown adults now, you know. I used to watch that guy's stuff every day. He even goes to swap meets too. People selling some of their auctions, selling their equipment. Yeah, he even toured. He went to a happening in Nebraska. And all these people met him. Yeah, no rest for the wicked. Yeah, you know, if you get that dress any tighter, you ain't gonna be able to breathe. Two things they like taking pictures of: their food and their themselves. I think you're gonna have to upgrade that picture there too. I think that picture you had there was when they were a little younger, huh? You look like y'all look like they could be sisters. Almost. Time is it? It's only what time in the afternoon there? What day is it there anyway?
It's today.
Yeah, well, what day is it for us? Friday.
Friday. They're 5 hours ahead of me, so it's 2:30 in the afternoon in England. We just found out that one of our friends, when my wife first got here in 2001, we didn't know any Filipino couples, you know, Chilean couples. But we met this one, and she was 3 months pregnant, and that was 23 years ago. And we just saw on Facebook. They moved to North Carolina. Their son, 23 years old, died on Christmas Eve.
Oh shit!
I don't know how. I think it was in a vehicle crash, but I don't. Just from what my wife said, he liked to do those things where they spin around. You know, I said drifting, and she thought maybe that. So I don't know if it was related to that or just.
It could have been a spectator too, you know, and then guys get in them wild things like that.
He was into driving.
Oh.
But I seen something on Facebook a couple days earlier saying that, you know, asking for prayers because their son was on life support. And then Christmas Eve, he put up a post saying that, you know, tribute to their son, 23.
Yeah,
their only son. One son and one daughter.
Yeah.
That's tough. This guy worked his way up. the American, guy that
Yeah.
married this little. He started. He bought like one of those Roto-Rooter companies, I think, and he
Uh,
ended up owned, and had a real good business. And I think that son, I don't think that son ever went to college. I think that son was just helping him in his business, and
Yeah.
it was doing great. But yeah, how tragic, man.
They showed one of those videos about in Florida. It was a Florida Highway Patrol or chase, and the lady stole the cop car, and there she was zooming along, this and that, and went across the road because she went up the right shoulder and lost control. Went across this old man and his wife in the front. I don't know who's in the back, but the people in the front died, and that it just they hit him at freaking 90, man. Even though you had the airbag, there's the for
Oh,
the,
that's
the force of your skull shifting in your head like that.
yeah.
And there's somebody in the back, one person in the back lived, and the other three died.
That's like that. Who was that racer? Was it Earnhardt? You remember when he crashed? When you
Yeah.
saw him, it looked like all the time when they hit the walls. You
Yeah, he
thought,
did. Yeah, it was,
Back the wall. It didn't look like it. But then they said he was unresponsive, and then he died.
he can't. You know what though? Sterling Marlin spun him out purposely the way he ran up the track. He fucking knew that he didn't think he was going to die, but he wanted to wreck him. He went up that. There was no accident. It's just
Yeah.
it was part of the thing, and didn't have a seatbelt there. Snap your neck, your stern was a stem, something gets snapped.
because the wall didn't move. And they're going like
Yeah, it's-
200 miles, right?
Yeah, well, they're 190, 185 plus at that point.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't
like-
see.
My Christmas
I never
was.
got
Maria's asking us here. Christmas
No
is
late
just Christmas. We don't
Well, we
do
did.
the.
It was our bubbly was skewered on a stick. It was like a kebab. It wasn't late time.
I don't know what I had.
But we-
I forget what I had. I had some beef today, but I don't know what I had.
How do you pronounce it? I could never get the pronunciation correct.
Yeah, how often you get a pig laying on the table, eh?
Yeah, it's not too common here in the States, Maria.
We don't.
Probably not in England.
One of the brother-in-laws, his daughter, she had a baby. Wife had a baby last year, sometime year and a half ago. Always taking her to the hospital or something. So her sister bought these guys Christmas presents, but usually we don't do that here. We just they went up. The
Maria.
mother-in-law they went up.
What kind of food did you have for your reception Christmas party, Maria? Did you order individually, or did they have something prepared for you? It looked like
got
it was
taco.
a restaurant.
They got Taco Bell. This one joke guy that did you see on the internet there? That guy, he always tells her jokes, and a lot of them. Justin,
Yeah.
he says, my friend said that he for his last meal he wanted Taco Bell so he could tear up that ass one more time. Oh, shit. 'Cause some people don't agree with that. I never had a problem with it myself, but boy, the one I used to go to after the bars, there'd be like 25 cars in line, man. It's after 2 a.m. They're open all night. And the cops they could bust anybody pulling out of there.
I saw
Oh.
something on had a sign from the
Oh,
like a plumbing joint. It was right across the street from Taco Bell. When you're done with your problems over there, come over here so we can solve them.
they had one. He said, "What's the difference? What's the difference between a gay man and a refrigerator?" And she says, "What?" He says, when you pull the meat out, when you pull your meat out of the refrigerator or out of the freezer, it don't fart. Yeah. She's like, oh God, this guy. I don't know where he gets them from, but this is a pretty good one. I gotta start walking around tomorrow, man. I haven't done shit, and I've been eating like a.
Me too.
I don't think I can fit my jeans, man. I gotta weigh about 230. I say that every day, but then the workers here, I told the guy they want their bonus, so they do 3 walls in one day, and out, the concrete wall. So today they come back and they do 1.5. So this guy wants the other skilled guy to come back. Well, them two are working together. What's the point in that? So I said, when he came back, I said, I told you to come back with 2 nephews, 2 your nephews, not the other guys. I told you 2. So you're the one running the show, but you got one of your nephews, and the other guy's a neighbor over here across next block over. The dude never bitches about his job. He just does his work. You tell him what to do, and he goes and does it. Even if he's trimming, even if he's out there with a polo chopping grass, the guy's at it. He ain't fucking around. These other guys come in. These other 2 guys he bought, one didn't come back. These guys started taking a lot of cigarette breaks, and fucking off. And I said, I can't have that shit. I said, you got Young, the one that lives here, and you got your other 2 that you brought with you at first. You got a guy that's skilled watching 2 guys mixing concrete, on the floor in the parking area. Well, where's the productivity there? And if I don't go out there at all, they won't do shit. But if I go out there, walk around, stand there, then they do. But I told him, I'll tell him that dude's got 1 week. I said, I have to save money for my other roof going on across the rest of the house. In the front, like the parking area, I'm going to have that all the way across the front. I already got people asking me, what are you going to do with this part? What are you going to do with that part? I haven't even gotten it done yet. I have, the last 3 days was the first time in a long time that I've actually been on this property with nobody else around. I'm getting kind of tired of having all this shit going on around me, No pig for me. I had, what did I have? Christmas Day. Might have had, I had Manook. Chicken.
Does your wife church celebrate Christmas?
What's that?
I said, does your wife's church celebrate Christmas?
No, we don't do nothing. A lot of people around can afford it. The mother, like I said, the mother-in-law, they went up to Manila because there was supposed to be some kind of reunion, I think on her side, because both her parents are from that area up there. So they're staying by the gay brother-in-law. I said, boy, that must be real creepy for the one brother-in-law and his brother that went there. They got family there.
How did they go?
What's that? Well, they've been gone.
By ship?
No, they flew because they got they had a promo on They wouldn't allow them return. They wouldn't let. They wouldn't allow them. It was a one-way ticket. It was $50 a person for Philippine Airlines or Cebu Pacific had a promo. So $50. That's cheap, real cheap for
To
him.
Manila.
From Butuan to Manila, yeah, $50. So it's probably not that many people fly around here from. What's that?
I think that's still pretty expensive for your average Filipino, even $50. You know?
Oh yeah, but well, look, the mama's making money off of me here, man. So what is that with the cooking and the other shit? What it's supposed to be, Then I asked him. I said, "Well, where's the receipts? Because I want to start adding this money up." I don't. They don't know where they are. Get the fuck out. Paying you $500 for this to organize the shit. You being the boss, where you're ordering stuff that they need, and $800 for the fucking food and shits. She's making out like a bandit, man. Plus, probably getting a cut of materials, but that's normal around here, man. I mean, who ain't gonna take the opportunity to make a little money for themselves, But I'm paying right now. Was $4,100 a day, but still, I'm getting a skill guide for like $10.67 a day. So
4,100 for how many people?
Huh?
I said 4,100 for how many people?
Too skilled and free labor. Free labor is down here. Huh? A little over $40 a day. A little less than that now. 400 pesos less. 3,700.
4,100 is $70.
Total, yeah. I'm talking about
Is it still about 56 to 58 somewhere?
yeah, it went up. Let me see. Well, I got it right here. Well, what's this? The peso went down a little bit. Oh man, we got 400. Well, now I'm do that shit. Do this. 7. All of this for $65.95 a day. 3,700. So.
And that's been every day, 5 weeks since they've been building it?
The amount of people's changed. In the beginning, I had 7. Oh, the more. So why do you need 7? Because you get it done fast. And let me tell you, these 3 guys I got before I got a couple extra here, they were doing better work than the 7.
Yeah. I figured.
But when it came bonus time, when they take 2 days and they do a section and a half on the like pillar to pillar on the fence concrete, it's about 5 feet apart, maybe 6. That's 6, and they take 2 days. But because the holiday was coming up, they knocked out 2.5 walls one day. They slapped it on there, did the straight edge, smoothed it out. And I'm like, today I'm like, fuck this shit. That guy's other cousin, wherever the fuck he is, he's going home next week. Because I told him a long time ago. I said, look, I don't mind somebody taking it easy once in a while, but this is, that was getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when I was young, I labored for my uncle who was a bricklayer, blocklayer.
Mm.
Man, you talk about rapid fire. That dude could put up some block, and he was a perfectionist too, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
won't notice
day in
you
and day
won't
out,
notice
quick, you know.
you won't notice here like every other course you'll see the line, the middle, the block, every other block, every other roll. And that's not always dead on that way. It's all over the place. But if you get a guy for 10 something a day, man, for one guy, one head builder, I mean, geez, you can't beat that. But I would have never done this if it would have been for the fact that uncle was doing it in the beginning. I think he lost a lot of his. I think his mind was getting tired. So if it would have been for him, though, I would have never done this. I wouldn't do this. Oh, shit. Simon says Merry Christmas. Man, we were having a blast. Say hello to the twit. Merry Christmas. Happy twit year. That's coming up pretty soon. What's today? 27, right? Yeah.
Yep. 27.
My ex-wife's dad used to say, I don't know sometimes I don't even know what day it is. I thought to myself, what do you mean? Because he was retired. I said, what do you mean? I don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
Now
it's every day.
Every day, man, they have their routine, The last car he bought, though, he used to buy a new one every 2 years, but since he was getting toward the end there, he bought a 2-year-old car that had shit for miles on it. Venza, down in Florida there's a lot of turnover in real estate and cars. But the time is coming. The time is very near to where you're not going to see somebody plop down 70 grand for a vehicle and then trade them in every 2 years because there are a few people making that kind of money. So Simon, what did you get? Thanks for stepping in for me with that one photo of. She took a photo. What was that? Her love. I said thanks for stepping in for me. For the picture since I didn't want her to be alone in the picture.
Hello, Simon. You getting kind of antsy now? Been off work for a while. Longer than you'd like, huh?
Raining all day up here. It's
going to be very warm here.
Yeah, for how long?
Overnight, it's been above freezing, which is odd for this time of year.
For how long, though? A day or two?
No, it's supposed to be not supposed to get to the 20s for another 5 days. So.
Wait a minute, bought you a bushwhack. You mean like the what do you call it? The what's that one Ronald got? The Manscaped for manscaping. The 4,000 lawnmower, 4,000.
Are we talking the outdoor kind or the indoor kind, Simon?
Yeah. Well, he's got, of course, you tell us either one.
In the States, right? A weed eater?
There's nothing. Yeah, well, the whacker, the trimmer. I don't know what they call a whack. Bushwhacker, that's electric edges. I used to hate them fucking things, man.
You got to be careful with that around the pigeons, Simon. Don't want to put an
Well, when you want to shape that bush, it's real easy to put you too low. And then a lot of times that shit dies off. It's never buy them fucking tropical fake ones.
Is it electric, Simon?
You get a charge out of it, right? I don't know why a guy. I don't know why a guy that works from sun up to sundown should be out there trimming the bushes outside. I mean, what do you got out there anyway? Two of them? You live on
Got
the
a
end,
rat
you live on
supposed to eat all that
you live,
stuff.
you live on the end property too, so you're the ones with the.
I thought having a rabbit was about having a goat.
Yeah, there you go. Matter of fact, on my way when I take the kid to school, if I go down this one road, there's goats out there every morning. They give the low income guys a job. Like they pull up all the grass. Now listen, we're in a place that the more grass all you got to do is trim it because the grass helps retain water. When you take all that grass up, all that water is going to the road. You know? What you do, man? Mow the lawn, make the yard look bigger. Is that what she tells you?
Oh.
You have Mia's boyfriend
Christian,
come over there. What did the kids get for Christmas? I saw them little pink. Simon, did you get your little pink Barbie sweater or sleep? What is it called? Long John? Not Long John. I forget what they're called now. I think that's the last child gift Maria will get away with buying them because they're young ladies now. I got too much, eh? Yeah. You know it's time for a new baby, you know. Yeah, it does happen in this.
That's
It
what
does
we
happen in this.
We forgot to send the Bollock Bion box over there for your fellow Brit.
Yeah, pick up a collection, man. No chance for more babies, man. What'd you do? Get snipped? You can always stitch that back. Just ask that guy that ran, wore out his welcome. What was that old guy up that became an American citizen that had their channel in Boho? A foreigner living in the Philippines or something. I guess I haven't tuned into them in a long time, but I guess they fell out of favor with everybody, even with their license, charity license. They bought a brand new truck in America that Raptor would be like 60 grand. And they're trying to sell their land, the house with the land. There's a couple houses on it. Real nice looking, too. They did a lot of good work. They're selling it for 20 million, they said. 20 million? Yeah, something like
So I
that.
wonder how name it's in.
Huh?
I said, I wonder whose name the property is in.
But
Because that's the all important thing there.
There's fear, huh?
That's like your place, Tony. Was that built on her family's land?
It's Beth, no, Beth and not Terry, Terrence.
I know. I'm not talking about yours. When you're the house.
No. I was answering Simon.
Oh,
What about my house?
yeah. I said, did you buy that property yourself? Like in your wife's name, or is it in her family's name?
Oh, that was in the mother-in-law's name forever. She put up a real fight to change that. Oh,
How
my
did it
wife's name. My wife, I kept asking her, when are you gonna? Well, Mama said, "Oh, that don't worry about that." Apparently, they let their mother run their lives.
Right. Did it ever happen that you know?
Yeah, it happened. Of course it did. I wouldn't have built a house on her mother's name. I'd give her the 2 middle fingers and be out of town if that fucking ever happened.
As I say, you never know until you have the paperwork
But-
in your hand.
the thing of it is, uh, there was a misunderstanding when you have one when you go through somebody else. Like, my wife had me thinking all this time it was her mother, and when actually it was her that did said this and that. But good because she kept saying, "Oh, you know what? I've been trying to get the switch for 8 years." And she said, her mama said, "Oh, well, every time I say that we change it, then he doesn't want to." Bullshit. Man. Don't fuck with me. I ain't afraid of fucking prison. I die from all my lack of medications.
Yeah,
Oh, you know,
when we
you.
refurbished the one that my wife grew up in, their property, it's still in like a great grandparents' name from generations
Uh,
ago. But I didn't care. I just,
well,
got the wooden structure got destroyed by a typhoon, so we built a hollow block, a metal roof, 4 meters by 11 meters for $2,500 under roof finished, which is what about 14,000 pesos, something like that. No, 140,000. I guess. Yeah, less than 150,000 pesos. Still there? Hello? Yep. I guess Tony's having internet issues again, or computer issues. No, Simon did not have turkey for Christmas. We had pork kebabs on a stick and mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. But your turkey dinner spread looks real nice. It looks like you have leftover turkey for days. Yeah, earlier in his stream, he had an issue with his computer powering down by itself or something. So apparently it happened again. They did just within the past 24 hours have a 5.2 earthquake just south of where Tony is, and just west of my wife's hometown. As soon as my wife told me about it, I messaged Tony and asked him, did he feel that one? And he said, oh, yeah. Yes, Simon, they were basically pork, and then you put it in a breaded batter on a stick, cook it like that, and then once it's cooked, then you put gravy on it and bake it again. And so it's kind of like kebab smothered in gravy, very delicious. It's kind of like a cream of chicken gravy, maybe. They actually call it city chicken, and I guess it's only a Western Pennsylvania kind of thing. Because when I traveled other places in the country, nobody knows what city chicken is, and it's not chicken at all. No, it wasn't sweet and sour. It was just like I said, a cream of chicken soup breading. Now, when I eat mine, I put a little hot sauce, my favorite hot sauce on mine to spice it up a little bit. How many kilos worth of turkey, Simon? I think sometimes, normally in the U.S. Thanksgiving time, you can get a turkey, if it's on sale, a full turkey at about anywhere from $1 to $1.40 per pound. So, like a 10-kilo turkey would still only be about half the price of what you pay.
Where I am. I don't know if it's that Wi-Fi I got on my thing. It's from Rotterdam, something like that, in the UK.
What did you do? Did your computer power down or internet source?
No, they had the Wi-Fi thing with the power went out.
So,
I mean, the power on the Wi-Fi. So I don't know what the freaking deal is. Maybe that thing's malfunction. I don't know. I try to give this enough slack here where I don't bump it. Sometimes with my foot, it doesn't. The plug doesn't sit inside that universal adapter too well anymore.
the Wi-Fi unit itself, is it a small unit? Does it have a fan with it? Could it be overheating?
Nah, nah. I have this on all day. It doesn't. It never no problem. Yeah, so Starlink. Yeah, I see. You see what how it works around here is. I have to. I have to. We have to okay it with her mom first.
You say you do have Starlink or no?
They do. That Billy in the Philippines is up in Surigao now. He's got it.
You personally,
Right.
that you
What are you talking about him?
Starlink? No, you, Tony.
No, I don't have. I got regular. Who do I got? Globe.
It's pretty expensive initially, right, for the equipment, but then it's that's
Yeah,
what
I
I
think
want.
it's.
I want to cut the cable cord and just get a.
I think he pays like $20. I don't know what he pays a month. $20.
But initially, it's hundreds of dollars, right, for the equipment.
I don't know. I do not know. All I know is the one I got, Simon. Lately, I have it plugged in. There's an adapter. I got my. I have my computer in there. I really don't need to have a computer in there actually, but I got the Wi-Fi plugged into it. And for some reason, when electricity's been on for all day, like that plug will. I don't know if they have power surges or the power surge be that mild that it would knock that out.
Simon, I've heard stories that that particular engine is pretty bulletproof from our of the older motorheads that I knew growing up. The Plymouth Flint
Slant 6.
was pretty much a bulletproof engine. Very
Oh,
good.
that was. Dude, you know those checker cabs? They had checker cabs in Chicago. They ran straight sixes in those things. Who was the original? Chrysler bought the company. Bought the company that
Yellow?
made those. Yeah, well, checker cab in Chicago. You know, the straight sixes, they had like buku miles on them. I forgot who the manufacturer was. That DeSoto or somebody that Chrysler bought? They were, my God.
I mean,
I had,
the yellow ones look like a bubble, right? Look like a
you can ride them.
steroid, right?
You change the oil on the suckers. It's as good as Chevy used to have a good 283 was a good one, I think. And then they went and got rid of it. A 307 was a good one. That was the gas mileage, the quarter mile engine there. 327 to 327 was.
What do you say yours is, Tony? Your truck is a 4-liter turbo, 4-cylinder turbo.
Yeah, like a 2.4 liter turbo diesel. Yeah.
And it's 4 cylinders, right?
Yeah. The other one is a 2.8, which I could have snapped up on when I bought this one, but I had heard they had issues with the oxygen sensor getting covered, getting dust on it.
Also,
Diesel. You're breaking up. So,
was that 2.8 also a turbo?
yeah. Yeah. It was a 4x4 too. I could have got it for 31,000. It was only 2,000 more than mine. It was a white one though, but I thought, well, before this driveway was built, I could have used a 4-wheel drive. Now I don't need it. They'll never give me back. I tried to sell on the guy that used car manager up there, my sales lady. They got something cooking together where they sell shit, And I said they want to give me 1.3, and I bought it for 1.6 because it has all the safety sense stuff. The $6,000 worth. That's why I bought it. And it looks beautiful when it's clean. Wheels, real nice. Feel, yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, I bought the father-in-law last year for his birthday. I bought him a Yamaha 125, because they wanted to get make it a tricycle. And now the thing don't even run because it just sits there. So what the fuck is this? Buy something brand new. But I've done enough, man. What we got here? 144. With the twit. Maybe the twits in the background there. Was Christmas up there and
Can you see how many people are on your screen? Does it give you a
yeah,
tally?
there were. Well, four to what like 6 numbers. Between 2 and 3. Could be David or what's his name? Needs to go home, man. Needs to go home and make Mama happy. We can come back.
Simon, what do you call the bread that you put inside the turkey? Do you call it dressing or stuffing?
Sucks, dude.
We've always called it stuffing, but I'm assuming you did put some kind of bread and something.
You know what it reminds you of, like croutons and all that shit? I don't know who likes that shit, man. Not me.
You don't like the stuffing inside the turkey?
Oh, no. No, just
No?
give me my, no. When I used to eat I'd eat it just for the skin, man. The flavor. I go, give me a wing, man. I'm done. Breast or something. Four people. Oof. 4 million. Maybe I should put this one on ice and do a private right now. See, I don't like that stuffing in a turkey, man. I've never been a fan of that.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Oh. Give me the part where if you baste it, which you're supposed to, over that crunchy skin, it tastes good, boy.
I had
I
a
take a wing.
coworker one time said he did a deep fried turkey for Thanksgiving. He said I could never go back. He said
Yeah.
once you had it deep fried, because it's probably like doing lechon. The skin's probably really you know, hard.
Manook, I prefer nut Manook, actually.
He said it was extremely juicy and very delicious. So
My God, it's like having my first Black Angus steak, and you don't put nothing on it. You baste it. They give you a cup of the its own juice. Oh my God, never been a more pleasurable a piece of meat in the world than that. Oh
where'd you have
boy,
it?
I used to go there all the time. I had my medium well,
Where did you
and
get it from?
it's called a place called Steakhouse 100. It was in a city called West Dallas. They had it all over. They moved it around, and Walgreens bought the property and tore it down. Now that Walgreens is closed.
A town or a place called Alice, and then there was one called West Alice.
West Dallas? No, West Dallas, period. The name of the company was like Alice Chalmers.
Is that where Alice Chalmers Company was?
Say it again?
Is that where the Alice Chalmers Company was? In West
In West Dallas. Yeah. When you see a race at State Fair Park, it's called the Milwaukee Mile. That strip of land is actually in West Dallas, but they say Milwaukee. If you say
Is that
West
something
Dallas, most
bought out or still manufacturing stuff?
they folded, man. The competition for the farm equipment was pretty tough. I mean, we had Ellis Chalmers, and then down in Racine, about 25 miles south, they had J.I. Case, and then Case merged with the other one. The other one, I said it earlier. International Harvester. Now I don't know if Case is still in business or not, but I can't imagine the steep competition, and you're churning these things out. Not as fast as cars, but we had not Caterpillar folded up in Milwaukee. They had Cyrus Erie. They dropped. I think they dropped the Cyrus part of it or something or other. That's in South Milwaukee. It's all along the lake shore there. Yeah, man. Used to have jobs, dude, all that traffic. Oh. But that West Dallas part, it's called on National Avenue part of it is. And when I first started driving, they had to stop every corner, every block. Their blocks were short. And as soon as you dipped in that bus to stop, it took you a whole light to get out to get to the next one. If you ever seen that movie Meet the Fockers, where the guy they're racing from stoplight to stoplight. Oh my God. But anyway, a lot of famous people. West Dallas, I think it's West Dallas or Wauwatosa, Liberace's from. Michi Brothers from Kenosha. Tom Hanks' wife's from Kenosha. Who's that actress? She used to be on that show with John Lithgow. What was the name of the show? Third Rock from the Sun. A big, tall woman in that one was from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
I never watched that one.
Well, that was a fun. It was I worked second shift forever, so then I got this other
I think I
job,
might
and
before. You know where the town called Ladysmith, Wisconsin is?
yeah, it's north of here, northwest one out here. I'm not here. Yeah, I heard of it.
Yes, center of the state, right? It's like a farming area.
All of it, almost all of it. I don't get
Everything
these
outside of
small.
Milwaukee.
It's no, Green Bay ain't as small as it was anymore. I mean, they got their population, and it's just like in Milwaukee. It's a mix of all kinds of folks. You know, there's a lot of work up there. I don't understand how that area. They have a lot of jobs for packing, your cold storage. They must be some super hub for their distributorship for canned vegetables. You know, box companies, all kinds of work. My son-in-law was working at one on third shift. He's got a college degree. I don't know. Goofy, you don't use it. He was working on third shift, driving a forklift, making 20 some dollars an hour, 23, 24. And I said, well, how many trailers did you have to pack a night? He goes, I don't know. I just kept going until it was time to go home. You know, cold storage.
The reason I asked you is because when I was down for my daughter's graduation at Parris Island for boot camp for the Marines, and she was a top graduate. And the next one, I was reading her bio where she was from, and it said Ladysmith, Wisconsin. So I had to go home and look it up on the map because it's just a small place. But her parents were sitting next to us because they let the parents sit in the distinguished guest area, the viewing stand for graduation. You know, when your child's like an honor or something, they let you sit up there with like the officers and stuff, you know. So. But I was reading her bio, and it said she was from Ladysmith, Wisconsin.
The birth of the Republican Party was Ripon, Wisconsin, March 28, 1854. I forget where we went. I had a girlfriend. An old man had some land up in Red Granite called, and we used to have to drive through. Ripon makes cookies, and you know what I see all these cop shows, man. No matter what part of the state they're in, always got a problem. Always across the smaller Eau Claire. You know, a lot of people work in Minneapolis, live in Eau Claire. Eau Claire's like up there across the border from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Across is small, Stevens Point, but you bring a few of the city folks up there and they act stupid and can't figure out why. You know, a drunk's a drunk, right? I mean, drunk driving's drunk driving, man. It doesn't matter who you fucking pull over. It's law for everybody. If a few of my friends from the old job, from the bus driving job, one of them lives in Adams County, and they're in a community of Filipinos around there. You know, they're all a couple group, about 6 of them, but they always get together. But north there is Wisconsin Dells, and that place is really, really kept up with the times. You know, they looked like 1950s for the longest time, but they have problems there too in their city with thieving and robbing and car chasing and all that shit. You know, you wouldn't imagine that would happen up there, but or anywhere really. But if I would have been living in a different part of the state, I probably would have stayed there. But you know, urban shit, the weather. You know, every year I wait 8 months, 9 months for 2 or 3 months, and sometimes it comes and sometimes it doesn't. You know, that makes life go by so fast because I always based my enjoyment on 3 months a year, you know. Here, I wake up every day. My sister says it in Florida, but you know they have their 40-degree overnight once in a while, upper 30s. But I used to have to wait till 2 p.m. to get in the 80s. I wake up and it's freaking low 80s, you know. Breezes are pretty good here in what would be your winter. Australia's, I think Australia's in their summer now, maybe, or spring, summer, I think. But the breezes, last year it went down to 64 one night, and the rest of the time was 74. And I wanted to grab for a blanket, but other than that, man.
I got
Air
a question
conditioner.
about when you were in Milwaukee. You didn't get lake effect though because the winds normally always come from west,
Oh,
right?
fuck. You get me? We're right along the lake, man.
I know, but the winds normally go from west to east, so the lake
Normally.
is east. So
Normally.
that effect goes over that lake and into Michigan and hammers the western side of Michigan. They
We
get the real effect now.
we got
Right.
lake effect snow pretty good too. Not as much as them, I wouldn't think,
Shift, right?
but sometimes that weather pattern will be out over the lake, and then the winds will reverse and it'll come back and get you again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I seen it on Allen Bradley clock. We used to have the largest four-face clock in the world. I saw an Allen when I was a young teen, I think. Pedaling my bike. They have one next to the clocks. They have temperature things that show big, huge faces on. And then I saw that thing drop one day from 81 to 56. And I was like, man.
You said they had the
They
largest
did.
what?
I used to have the largest four-face clock in the world.
Oh,
I think Big Ben
analog
was a
clock?
single.
Analog,
Huh?
like Big Ben? Analog clock with the big hand
Oh,
and little
no,
hand?
no. Yeah, big hand, little hand. That's all he had. They've done something new now, I heard, but of course I'm not there.
Big Ben.
Big Ben's got two, right? Or is that one face or two?
That's Simon. Never been there, so I don't know.
But anyway, that used to be my clock. And it was time to go home because some of my friends lived quite a few blocks away. And I go, shit, 5 o'clock, I better get hoofing. You know, I think that clock's a little fast. And I hear my
So
dad
how,
yelling up. And
stop with
I hear my,
how high was it off?
well, I was hoping it would save me like 2 or 3 minutes, you know. They had a big enough freaking
No.
hand up. I mean,
I said how high the ground was the clock? Was it on a building? Tall building or what?
yeah, it's up above on the building. Allen Bradley Rockwell. I think you can get a picture of it. Rockwell owns it. I think there
How
was
many
one
stories?
on. Oh Lord, it's up there, man. Is the clock or the temperature? I don't know. Clock is up there, way up there. You'd have to get the
I mean, is
measurements
it
from the.
a 20-story building?
That was yeah. I would guess, man. I never bothered looking at the floors in there. It's big.
But you were a little kid and you could see it from where you were playing, right?
Yeah. What you know, of course you had to, not every block you could see it, but my idea, you know, I don't go looking, I'd look and shit, time to get going, man. Run like a madman to get home. My dad goes, how come you didn't hear me? Well, my friends live, you know, probably 7 to 10 minute walk from here. I told you guys before, but I had the cops come up on me in the winter in the park when I was running home. Apparently there was somebody flashing a gun around there, and I'm running, and all of a sudden I hear freeze, and all these lights come on, these cars come zooming. What the fuck? Why are you running? I go, it's fucking cold out, man. You know, what do you think? I live on 8th and Green. What's your friend's address? Where's he live? Oh, 8th and Harrison. You know his address? Nah. You know, I'm not in grade school. My parents don't need to know his address. But scared the shit out of me because I didn't see nobody until they came up on me. Then I got this yellow coat on. Yeah, these were the days.
I thought you were some guy with a gun.
There was a guy in the gun. That's what they said. How the fuck do I know? I didn't listen to the radio, but I'm running
But you're
because
a little-
my friend lived. If we were gonna walk, it would probably be a 15-minute walk, 18 minutes. So it's winter. I'm pushing this to the end, where I gotta be home in the house by I forget what time, 9 or something. So I'm running through the park, and it's bitterly cold out. I don't wear gloves. So what's the best way of getting home fastest? And you know, the wind's kicking your ass anyway. Nothing you can do about that. So I'm running through the park, and they come swarming just from all over. They fuck, freeze, you know, fucking hands up, shit. And I'm like, where you coming from? I said, oh, down there at 8th and Harrison. What's that? I don't know. Why are you running? It's fucking cold, man. I want to go home. I live on 8th and Greenfield. We had a report because they had cars all over the place, so they had something serious enough going on.
Did they search you?
Back
to see if
then.
you had a gun?
They searched them, of course they did. You could tell back then the private dicks, the detectives, their license. They always drove those like Dodge Diplomats, like 75. You know, they always had the license plate. The license plate numbers started with Y10. You always knew it was a cop before they started putting stars on. They didn't have no star on the plate. They just had Y10, and then the numbers, whatever other numbers there were. Yeah, man, fucking scared the shit out of me. You know, them bastards could at least give me a ride home, right?
And they didn't even do that.
Nah.
So I can't
And
see
when
why
I, when I,
that-
hey,
your grade school. Why do you even suspect you? You know?
I was in when I was running down that way. I was middle school to high school. The other one was it? I forget. What the heck? I can't think of it. I just had it and I lost. Damn, man. What were we talking about?
I have to get off. My wife wants to ride into the city to the Asian grocery stores, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's an exciting afternoon. I'm telling you.
To the city, yeah. Well, we might stop by, see where my daughter works. She works in the city. I haven't seen her building yet.
Yeah. I'll take my medicine. I'm good. All right.
All right. Simon, if you're still there, take care. Happy New Year to you. We'll hopefully talk to you next Friday if Tony's on.
Yeah, hopefully, hope you're eating all that wonderful cherry pie that your wife made.
Next Friday. What's the date next Friday? Is that the 3rd?
1, 2, 3, yeah. Third.
My daughter's birthday. She should be in Japan, I think, by then. Or on her way home from there. They're in Baguio City now, I suppose.
Which one is this? From the
She
first.
must have, the Marine. She must not have got a SIM card there or something. I don't know if her phone would work. You know, when you're just visiting there, does your iPhone work, or do you have to buy a SIM card for that?
You can get a SIM card for the time you're there. Sure.
Yeah, but I haven't heard from her. She said she was going to FaceTime me like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but I never got a call that I know of. So with the
Hey,
time
listen to
difference. But
Listen to this.
What?
This guy. They showed this video. These two people in this ride, and the male's freaking out. His wife set him up, and he's making all these noises and stuff. I said, man, I knew a guy like that once, and he got arrested. He was crying like that. Oh man. All right. Time to go to bed, huh?
Okay, Simon. Have a good one. Happy New Year. You and Maria and the family.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
I don't know. Christian probably went up to Angela City, right? He said he was going to go up.
I don't know.
So he might be in Angela's now. I don't know.
I think he's up to his ball sack and fun.
Yeah, he's probably enjoying himself.
Yeah.
But he does have to go back, what, January, February, something like that.
He'll stop by that.
Income or pension or disability stuff, right? He can't be out of the country for.
Yeah. I think he'll stop by here next time. Maybe we'll have to
Okay, well,
next
that's
Friday.
No
All
more
right,
earthquakes.
I'll be here next Friday.
Okay. All right, take care. Good night. See you,
Right.
Simon.
All right,
Later.
thanks for coming. Yeah.
Yep. Later.